And the stuff she says just kills me.
If you don't leave what's in court and you bring it home to your kids, it makes their lives pretty much miserable.
We don't live in that kind of crazy chaos anymore.
And you tend to make some bad decisions when you're not thinking clearly.
Because it's tough for the kids the most than anybody else.
We wanted somebody that would fight really hard for us to make sure that the right outcome came.
Don't go by what your buddy at the bar says. Don't go by what your buddy down the street says. Definitely don't go by what the person that you're in the custody battle with says. You know, get educated from your lawyer, and then get a second opinion, whether it's the lawyer down the street, a counseling agency, something that you can lay hands on that can put numbers and education with the education you're going to receive.
Through this, making sure that my two boys still had a positive image of women, because things were going down that were really negative. I want to make sure that my girls had a positive image of relationship. Here they were thinking, you know, we were in a long-lasting family because family was forever. But for the kids to think, okay, this change had taken place, you know, how was it going to affect them and what were they getting from it? And how could I, in a sense, maintain a sense of positivity so that they had an understanding that, you know, this situation is different, but yours will be different too. Don't think of all relationships like this. You know, one day you'll find someone, you'll have a healthy relationship. And what we've really been trying to concentrate on is what's a healthy relationship.
Be less argumentative, because that definitely doesn't help anybody. So be more calmer, because that just adds more coal to the fire, basically.
One thing I could have done differently would be to kind of share that more with some of my close friends and let them know what's happening, and let them know that it's okay to tell you, hey, you're being an idiot. You need to stop what you're doing and take a left instead of a right because you're making bad decisions. And then be open to that. They're not telling you that because they don't like you, they're telling you that because they love you and they want to help. So if you can maintain enough of your bearing to realize that there are people out there that will actually give you some advice, and when you're not thinking clearly, sometimes they are, that would keep you out of a lot of not trouble, but just bad decisions that you get past and you're like, Jesus, I wish I hadn't done that.
Because we had no clue. We had no clue how the family court system worked. We have a very good lesson now, but we had no idea at the time how it worked. We thought that if we said what was happening, that would just be understood, and it wasn't at times. Sometimes it had to come from, like I said, third-party sources, or there had to be documentation. It wasn't easy to just, the moral way and the legal way sometimes get tricky.
I had hobbies that coincided with my kids, so we were able to still, fortunately, continue with those. And that made life really easy, because then I get to spend more time with them too, so it worked out slick.
One of those things is you start fighting in this process over things. Yes, you don't want to tell any of your friends or any of your family that you sucked up and gave in, gave all the kitchen equipment to your ex, or something was split up that you really probably should have kept, or now you got to go out and, you know, buy more and you didn't have enough money to do it. You know what? Things don't matter. Things don't matter. Don't fight over that stuff. Just, you know, get rid of it.
We are better parents by being separate, just because there was just too much pointing fingers, too much fighting, and by putting the divorce in that, you're just basically putting a stop to that. So it's much more peaceful. The kids are happier. Every time, you know, we do something together, which is not that often, but definitely the kids, I mean, especially my 7-year-old, she notices it, she points it out. She's like, oh, you guys are not arguing. And it shows that, you know, we are doing something right.
Just make sure that you try to take the emotion out of it as much as possible.
Get help. Get help if you need help, somebody to talk to. Stay in tune with your child.
You made that decision to have the children and have a family, so you get to carry that. And I think you're correct in that. You've got to keep that structure the same for those children. all the way through. Their lives can't change because of it, because that decision's between you and your wife or you and your husband.